So the next thing I'm going to do is to construct a few more columns based on this date column. So the first column I'm going to introduce is a month column, which tells me what's the month of this particular date. So because we have here, for example, September 30th, 85, the month is going to be 9, okay? And the second column I'm going to introduce is the year column. So it's going to tell me what's going to be the year for this date. So here we have 1985. So the year column is going to show me 1985. Okay. The third column I'm going to introduce is called fiscal year. Okay, I'm going to explain in a little bit. Okay, let's first introduce this month and year columns. So to do that, again, go to Add Column tab, and I'm going to introduce a custom column. Okay, click on this button. All right, and then this new column name, I'm going to call it month. So it's going to be a kind of a formula that's implemented on this date column. Okay, so I'm going to take the month elements out of this date column, basically. Okay, so there's a Power BI function. In Power BI, this programming language is called DAX, D-A-X. So in this DAX language, there's a function called date. All right, date dot month. Okay. So this function, once you have the function name, you need to open a parenthesis. Okay. Inside this pair of parentheses, you will have this what do we call input or argument. Okay, so I'm going to use this date column or data field as the input inside this pair of parentheses. So I'm going to double click on this date. First, I'm going to move my cursor inside this parenthesis, and then I'm going to click on the date. Double click. All right. Now the date column is being embedded into this function as an input. Notice the date was kind of surrounded by a pair of brackets. Okay, that's the brackets is just indicator that this date is a data column or data field here. Okay, so now this function will give me the month of this date. So now click OK. So yes, now we have a month column, and it shows me exactly the month number for this particular date. Okay, so again, I'm going to make it a whole number. As I said, the next thing I'm going to introduce is again a customer column called year. Okay, this new column name, I will call it year, and it's going to be again a function that's implemented on this date column to show me what's the year of that date. So I'm going to use this function called date. Well, date dot year. This is the function name, and if you open the parenthesis, okay, actually I want to make it a pair, and then I'm going to move my cursor inside the pair, and then I'm going to double click on this date column to make it embedded as the input for this date year function. Then this function is basically taking the year from this date column. All right. Again, click OK. We'll this year column constructed in a second. Okay. Yes, we have 1985, 1986. There are just the years for those particular dates. So again, I'm going to make this a whole number. All right.